Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back again to do another video. This is kind of a half rage time. We're going to see how this one pans out. Before I do that, I should point out, look, dog. In fact, if I move out of the way, let's go this way. More dogs. I like working in this room because the dogs will sit with me, which is always nice, right? So yeah, the focus of today is I'm going to be going on the infamous website Wish. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Wish, well, I think we all know what Wish is, right? Wish sells incredibly cheap stuff from China, and I think it's well established that it's probably all shite. But let's take a look. So, right, if I bring up Wish's website, this is actually really convenient. Look, it's a surprise sale. Hurry up and grab up to 50% off. So we're going to use the code POP and we're going to save some money. And I should probably say, you know, I'm probably going to spend a bit of money on this video buying stuff for the for this. So if you do enjoy it, you know, check me out on Patreon because that's what allows me to do stuff like this. Link in the description. Anyway, back to Wish. So we're going to use the code POP. Let's check out shop. And, you know, to give you an idea of what Wish is, look. Wish are selling like, what even is this? Continue shopping, leave me alone. Utter shite. This is actually a screen protector. I assumed it was the watch, but you know, you wouldn't be mistaken for that. Look, you can get these Nike shoes for just £7. Look at these, totally not AirPods, for £1. Fantastic. But obviously we're here to talk about guitar related stuff, right? So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go up to the top. I'm going to type in guitar. And we're going to rage at some of the stuff that we find, right? So I saw this earlier. I am absolutely going to buy this. I'll come back to this though, right? There's two have bought this. The first thing that I absolutely have to buy is finger condoms. How can I not buy myself some fucking finger condoms? We have to have finger condoms. At just £1. We can choose the colour as well. Transparent grey. Well, we're going to have to go transparent, right? Because I wouldn't want people to be able to see these on my fingers. So let's pick ourselves up some of these transparent ones. And look at this. An instant offer. Add this to the cart to unlock a lower price. Cool. Let's add that to the cart. Let's see what that comes up as. Let's view our cart. Let's remove that. I'm going to add that in a second. Yes, I would like to remove that from my cart. Cool. It's going to cost £1 to post it, so you know, not nearly as cheap as you would have hoped. But there we go. The guitar condom has been added. You know, I'm currently in the process of doing this. This isn't soundproofing. This is acoustic treatment. I am doing that in my studio. So at some point I'm going to need acoustic treatment, but I'm probably going to buy proper stuff rather than this. But who knows? Maybe after ordering a bunch of this stuff, maybe I'll really like it. I need to get this. I absolutely have to get this. Look at this monstrosity. The guitar trainer for beginner finger expansion, finger extend trainer, finger power trainer for piano learner, saxophone learner, ukulele beginner. I find it astonishing that someone is trying to imply that this originally retailed for £21. Look at it. What even is that? Why? Oh, speechless. It comes in 2 sizes, so let's order ourselves a large one. I assume, you know, I've got pretty big hands, so I'm going to buy that. And I said I'm going to spend a lot of money on Wish today, but so far I seem to have only spent a few pounds. Oh, I mean, look, a ukulele for £4. Look at these. These are terrible. Do we want to buy one of these? I mean, it's £4, isn't it? Let's go for an orange one. The picture is dreadful. All right, we'll buy that. What else can we find? Other monstrosities. Now, the thing I find extremely interesting about Wish is that, as we all know, it's all stuff that's come from China. So when I bring up something like this, 6 pieces of Elixir nano web strings, electric guitar strings, coated, anti-rust. Now, these aren't genuine, are they? These can't be real, right? So let's order some and find out, shall we? A £5 for a few packets of strings. Oh, 6 packets of strings. Less than £1 per pack of strings. I wonder if they'll be real. What else could we pick up? Now, really, if I was doing this in a live scenario, I'd have you guys actually watching some of this stuff. But, of course, that would be planning. Let's get to the point. So I wanted to pick up one of these because, obviously, again, let's bring up the difference in price. This is a Klon Centaur clone, right? A Klon Centaur clone. A clone Centaur, if you like. They have one in gold and one in blue. Now, we're obviously going to go for the gold because the original was gold. £30. The Klon Centaur Gold Overdrive Guitar Pedal. Boutique, professional, beautiful. Now, I'm not sure if anyone's aware, but these things retail for hundreds and hundreds of pounds when you are lucky enough to find them. So, yeah, why not? Let's treat ourselves to a Klon Centaur. Let's type guitarist. Let's see what comes up. I mean, you're just going to find all manner of absolute rubbish. Look at that shirt. There must be things that are entertaining. Now, obviously, there's definitely the possibility that none of this stuff will actually even show up, but we'll find out, right? Guitar. Some straps. I saw some hoodies on here last night, which if I see those again, I'll have to spring for one of those. I mean, I could get the bed sheet. I mean, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? My wife would be extremely pleased if she came home and we had that on the bed. Yeah, we'll get one of these string cleaners, and it got different sizes. Look at that, high quality version. We'll go for the high quality, won't we? Always high quality. If you're buying stuff on Wish, you might as well get the high quality version. Oh, that seems a bit pricey to me. Down from £410. I mean, suddenly it's a lot more appealing, a lot more tempting. Look at this as a looper. I have to get one of these. Look. Oh, let's get a okay, let's get a 2X. And I mean, oh no, which one's which? This is going to be wine red, the one on the bottom. Oh no, that's black and red. That'll be wine red. That'll be brown. There's no way to know, yellow or khaki, which... Oh. Okay, that's yellow. We'll get the yellow one. Add that to our basket. That looks fantastic. £2 to ship that. Look at these. Oh, these are lefty-handed guitar tuning pegs. Machine heads, tuner skull peg. I mean, part of me wants to get some of those, but they're no use if they are lefties. We don't want to pick punch. Look at this. £42. So why are people buying stuff from America? Why buy genuine when you can go on Wish? This is incredible. Is this a knockoff fret wrap? Looks like it might be. Yeah, let's get one of these knockoff fret wraps. Sure. £3. Why not? Let's look at the pic. Oh, I want to look at the picture. Where's the picture gone? I don't think that's really on the guitar there. I don't think this person actually uses this. I don't need any slides. I've got enough slides. You know, for £3, why not? Let's see how they pan out. They don't look nearly as good. Oh, hello. Look at these. Now that's not even a good price, is it? £4 for 10 Jazz 3s, and they just say Jazz 3 on them. I want to order these just to see if they turn up with the Dunlop logo on them. Let's take a look at our cart then. So, we've got some picks. I'm really interested to check that pedal out. There you go, some nonsense. Now we got the coupon as well. So currently we're at £76.75. Let's see what Pop gets us. Apply. It's actually knocked £30 off the entire order. So this is just going to cost £50 for this stuff, posted. I mean, from China. It's going to be from China, isn't it? Okay, let's do it. So there we have it. Everything ordered from Wish. Now it's just a case of waiting. So I'll be back soon. I will update you. See you in a second. So some time has passed and the postman has finally been. Now it's worth pointing out, this has taken a while. It's been a good few weeks since I recorded the original part of this, and over the last few weeks bits have shown up in dribs and drabs because obviously they're all coming from different sellers. So it's time to take a look at things. Now in order to do this, what I'm going to do is resort to the classic YouTube quick cut. And the reason I'm doing that is so I can switch between all of these things. So first up we have da, 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 da. Oh, look at the state of it. Look at the absolute state of this shirt. It's kind of silky. It feels like a footballer's t-shirt. It's kind of got that material to it, and it's an all-round print, and it's a little snug. It's a little snug. In fact, yeah, I'll put it on for you. So probably not something I would ever personally wear. In fact, something that probably nobody would ever want to see me wear because I look like a string of sausages in it. But yeah, how do I rate this? I mean, I guess as far as gag gifts go, if you want to buy some absolute garbage for a guitar playing friend of yours, this is a funny one. Of course, I will be giving this to Mike of the Guitar Souls, and I will try and get him to wear it in an episode. It's absolutely disgusting. It's got a lot of stretch to it as well. So yeah, that's the t-shirt. So next up, the ukulele. Now look at it. This thing is of no use to absolutely anybody. If I pull up a regular cheap ukulele for comparison, this is not what I was expecting to show up. Now, maybe I should have read the listing a little bit more closely. But what we, in a sense, have here is a soprano ukulele with these kind of banjo-style tuners on it. These are incredibly hard to turn. It's incredibly hard to tune this damn thing. And it slips out of tune incredibly easily. It's injection molded by the looks of things, and it's plastic. The whole thing is plastic, so it's a toy. There's no real use for this. You absolutely cannot keep it in tune. You cannot play it in tune. The intonation is dreadful on it. If I did have to give it one compliment, I kind of like the fact that, you see this? They've actually attached a pick to the bridge. Now, obviously I don't need this on any of my guitars. If this was elastic, that would probably be even cooler. But as an idea for a student instrument, a little pick that's attached to the guitar with elastic is not the worst idea in the world, to be honest. But yeah, terrible little ukulele. There's no tuning this thing. Honestly, I have tried, and you're just not getting anywhere with it. In terms of the quality of the build of it, I have, on close inspection, there's a crack down here. So who knows if that was done in transit or just merely trying to tune it up to pitch. But yeah, this was obviously very, very cheap, and you can see why. Like this, garbage. No one needs it. Right, let's look at something else. Next up, we have the finger stretcher. Now, as you saw, I bought the large one of these, and it does exactly what you would expect it to do, which is really nothing. It's a piece of plastic. There is very little flex in it, and I guess the idea is we simply just put it on our hand like this, right? And what are we hoping? That if we keep it on our hands long enough, that our hands are just going to morph into this new stretched out form? I don't know. You know, I had a student over just recently, though, who, an older gentleman, and he certainly doesn't have much reach in his hands. So we tried it on him. We did put it on his hands, and it certainly was a struggle for him to get it on. Now I can't help but think maybe the smaller one, if he had have used that, it might have given his hands that feeling of what it's like to open your hand up a little bit. But you know, I don't think there's really any science to back this up. But who knows? You know, when I was younger, I was certainly spending a lot of time like stretching my fingers like this to try and. I didn't know whether it was going to do any good, but just trying to open my hands up. So there you have it, a weird little finger stretcher thing that you could just have on your hand all day. I'll try and keep it on my hand for the rest of the video and see how functional this hand is now. So let's take a look at something else. The guitar picks. So first up I have the Jazz 3 imitation. Now, as we know, these are all being manufactured and sent to us via China, and we are expecting them to be counterfeit, right? We're expecting them to contain trademarks that they have no legal right to print on them. And as expected, it says Jim Dunlop. It's never going to focus, is it? It says Jim Dunlop USA on it. So, yeah, this is absolutely a counterfeit pick. It's not the genuine article. And the thing that I find very interesting about these is you Jazz 3 users out there will know that the Jazz 3 is a nylon pick. It has a they're kind of soft, right? The Jazz 3, it's I wouldn't say malleable, but you can really dig your nail in and scratch a Jazz 3 if you wanted to. These are not made of that material. These are just a regular kind of hard plastic. Aside from that, I find it very difficult to really criticize these because, I mean, they do function. I can play my guitar with these and it feels no different than playing a regular sharp pick. Having said that, I don't know if the cost really justifies the the time it would take to have these sent to you. These took a good 3 weeks to get here. You can spend almost the same amount and get the genuine article over here. So yeah, the Jazz 3. I mean, I will keep these around, and if I'm in desperate need of a pick, despite the fact that I have more V picks than I could ever need, maybe I'll use one of these. But yeah, I certainly can't criticize them. These aren't garbage. So let's take a look at the other picks though. These ones are a little bit more interesting. So these were the kind of stubby imitation picks, and you know what? I actually really like these. These are actually very cool. There are a lot in the bag. I haven't counted them, and I should remember how many I ordered in a bag. But I'm going to have to take this off. Oh, these are going to go everywhere. If I pull these out, there's a good, I don't know, 25, 30 picks here. I'll just tuck those in my pick box. Yeah, these are certainly very small. Again, plastic. I like the fact that they have that kind of Dunlop stubby, kind of indented part that you can hold the pick with. Once I have it in my hand, it's not the worst, but in terms of design, because it has these two indents, it kind of gives you the feeling the pick is supposed to be held with the tip of the thumb and the tip of the finger. And I think that the experienced players among us know that we don't really hold our picks like that. We tend to use the tip of the thumb and like the side of the finger. And when you do that, it's not quite as comfortable a grip. But having said that, these were incredibly cheap. And I honestly can't say that these aren't worth ordering. If you just need some very cheap picks that are of perfectly reasonable quality, and you like a kind of thicker pick with grip on it, these aren't bad. Again, I'm not going to be switching from my V picks anytime soon, but I'm certainly more pleased with these than I was expecting I would be. So yeah, there you go, China. You did something okay. Let's take a look at something else. Okay, so next up we have this string cleaner. Now I've been sat with this for the last minute or two trying to work out how the hell you open it. So it's really not very intuitive, and obviously there weren't any instructions with it. So how is that clipped somehow to do this? I cannot open this for love nor money. Let's open. Oh, there we go. Bust it open. Yeah, so we have what you might expect. It's a plastic clamp, and there's some material on the bottom, and there's some material on the top. I'm going to pick up my Mayonnaise Hydra. The strings on this haven't been changed, which is fortunate because I've got some strings to put on it in a second. Strings on this haven't been changed in a good couple of months, just purely because I've been obviously in the middle of moving house, so I've been unable to. Well, actually, this is the only guitar I have access to at the moment. So yeah, let's put it on. So I'm going to slide this under the pickups. I'm then going to. I'm dreading this because I'm never going to be able to get this off again, am I? Right, so that's on in theory. It's got this handle, and I should just be able to do this. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is you can't really get it down to the first fret without really kind of putting a lot of strain on the instrument. I'm pushing down as well. I would say that's us. So, let's see if I can get this off. No! There we go. Oh, okay, yep, I understand. Right. So, very little gunk on the top, but lots of gunk has come off the bottom. This is the kind of thing that I think maybe if I put some string cleaner on this, I have some Diodario Planet Wave string cleaner, which is like a fluid. Maybe if I just squirted a tiny little bit of that onto this kind of soft material, that might absorb some of that, and I think that would probably help to clean the strings a little bit better. Again, you know, is this a necessary item? Does everybody need one of these in their lives? Probably not. Do people out there manufacture these better than this? I would like to think so. Will this still do the job? Probably, yeah. I can't really criticise it other than the fact that it's obviously cheaply and poorly made. I don't know how long this is going to last for. There's no real way to replace this material. I imagine that obviously I'm running strings against it, so this material is going to wear out pretty fast. But, you know, it does what it's supposed to do, so we'll give it that. So let's take a look at something else. Guitar still in hand. I'm looking at the fret wrap. Now, obviously, this is a cheap imitation Groove Gear fret wrap, and it's branded as Morley, Mauley. And other than that, it's exactly what you would expect from like a Groove Gear fret wrap. Mike had a look at this actually and commented on how cheaply made it is. I couldn't really criticise it quite as much as he did because I actually purchased and still own some of the original Groove Gear fret wraps that have plastic buckles on them, and those plastic buckles definitely wore out. I don't know how long the material and the stitching is going to last on these, but the buckles on these are the newer kind of rubberized versions of that mechanism. So yeah, it's it's not falling apart, which is nice. Nice padded bit there. Let's put it on the guitar and see what we think. Put this over at the 5th fret. Transition back into that world of cheating on the guitar again, guys. I just can't help myself. Right. Oh, I'm trying to drop the guitar. Cool. So that is doing absolutely nothing. Let's try it tighter. Now I don't remember which size I got. I might have, maybe there's a smaller one of these for a 6-string guitar. Okay, it's having the desired effect when I tighten it to its kind of max ability. I'm giving myself some harmonics there, but it's certainly enough that if I wanted to do some of my more insane 8th multi-finger tapping thing, it's going to keep things quiet. Yeah, I mean, it does the job. What I'm going to say, because I have experience with the Groove Gear stuff, is this doesn't kind of fit on the guitar quite as well. This doesn't feel as secure, but it will do that. It will do that job. Yeah, so it totally functions. This was extremely cheap though. It's the annoying thing about the Groove Gear stuff, and I can say this because I have no sort of ties to them as a company. They're just a product that I have purchased over the years. The thing with the Groove Gear stuff is it wears out. The Groove Gear stuff does wear out. The stitching starts to go, and you get wear and tear on them. And of course, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but the groove gear stuff is very expensive. So when one of those starts to wear out, it's kind of annoying. This was extremely cheap, so although I would expect this to have maybe 1/3 the lifetime that a groove gear does, this is not going to hurt as much when this one starts to wear out. And if you were to buy maybe 5 of these, you are probably getting better value for money. But it really is a case of, how good a job do you want done. The Morley fret wrap, yeah, not the best, but it will do the job. So what's up next? Finger condoms. I've got finger condoms. These are really, really strange. There's no denying this. They come in various sizes. They're bigger and smaller ones, though on inspection there doesn't really seem to be any indication of which finger each one is for. So you're going to need to be using a little bit of common sense for that. Let me have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 here. There are some that are definitely a little finger one, though this isn't going to function on my little finger. So when I've tried these out, I've been using the biggest ones on each of my fingers. So what I'm going to do now is kind of put these finger condoms on. Very strange. Who came up with these? More importantly, who buys these? What beginner guitar player is like, what's really going to help? Finger condoms. Right. Because I can't help but wonder, if you're going to go to the effort of having finger condoms to play the guitar, why not just use rubber gloves? And if anyone has ever tried to play guitar with rubber gloves on, you'll know how strange an experience that is. There we go. So I have these little finger condoms on now. I'm just going to keep saying finger condoms, right? So yeah, they are on my fingers. And when I pick up my guitar and attempt to play, it's let's use one of these imitation jazz frees. It doesn't feel normal. In fact, when I try and do that and slide, there's so much friction introduced by the rubber that often my finger is being dragged back as I'm trying to do it. So it's certainly not ideal for lead guitar playing. But obviously these aren't pitched at lead guitar players. These are pitched at beginners, right? Do they function for chords? I think if I do that too long, these are going to absolutely tear apart. They function, you can play chords, but really all I think they're doing is they're adding extra mass to your fingers, making your fingers bigger, which makes you more likely to be pressing more than one string. And this is maybe a controversial one, but not. We all know that a big part of playing the guitar is feeling it. We need to feel it under our fingers and know where those strings are. With time, you develop that response. You play and you understand what's happening with the instrument because you can feel it under the fingers. These remove all of that sensation, so I can't think of anywhere these are going to be useful. I wouldn't recommend them. Though again, they were extremely cheap. So if you want a gag gift for your guitar playing friend, if you've got a guitar player in your band that is a little bit precious about his fingers, maybe grab him some finger condoms and see how he gets on with those. I'm just going to immediately pick these up now and do a quick cut afterwards. Now I have the Elixir Neat Tone, the Nano Web ultra thin coating of anti-rust plain steels, electric guitar strings, super light 9 to 42s. Now, these certainly look genuine. They look like they are the genuine article. It's very odd that they are surrounded in sellotape, but let's take that off. Let's try and take that off and get a look inside. I'll just rip the packaging. See what's inside. Now, really, if I was prepared, I would have had a regular pair of Elixirs to compare these two, but I am not an Elixir player. I am very much an Ernie Ball player, so those would be my strings of choice. I don't know how Elixir are currently packaging their strings. This looks like a very dated way of packaging your strings, like in paper envelopes. String companies used to package their strings like that, but now they tend to seal them in plastic because it preserves the strings, right? So let me open one of these up. I mean, it looks like a guitar string. What I'm going to do is I'm going to restring this guitar now, and I'll be back in for you, it'll be a literal second. I'm going to be back in a second and I will let you know how these feel. So, see you in a sec. Okay, all strung up. New set of strings on the guitar. I always enjoy how quick it is to restring this guitar. Very, very quick and easy, and these are strings, so no real difference there. What I've noticed today is now I don't have a string cutter to hand, so I've been unable to cut these off. So I've just I've tied a little hair knot for them, so they don't shake around now, which does the job. Anyway, so as far as strings go, these function. They definitely function. They need to be stretched in a little bit more, which is understandable. But I have another test for us for this, so I'll break that out in a second. But yeah, they feel like strings. In a perfect world, I guess you'd want to measure the thickness of strings to check that the gauges are right. These are supposed to be 9s, and off the bat, the high string, the one that's supposed to be a 9, doesn't feel like a 9. That definitely feels thicker. There's a lot more tension on that high E string than there is on the B or G or even D, A, and E strings. Yeah, that high E string is definitely more tense. I would go as far as saying, obviously I can't gauge by looking, but it's very, very close to the B string. So it wouldn't surprise me if this turned out to be a 10, maybe even an 11, the same as the B string. But I guess that's what you get when you order stuff like this online. Anyway, so let's take a look at the last thing, and this is, I guess, the big thing. Is the last thing, right? Yeah, I'm just looking around. Yeah, that's the last thing. So, the Klon Centaur. I've tried to put a battery in this. If you look at the screw here, you'll see that screw is full of metal, and that's because in trying to take the base off of this, I used my screw thing, and I put that in there and lightly applied some pressure, and the drill bit snapped in this screw. So it does make me wonder, maybe these screws have been put in, but they've also been glued in, like super glued in place, so you can't remove the base, potentially so you can't look at what's inside the pedal. And look at the circuitry. I can't see any reason why that screw would not have come off. Now, there's no getting the base off this pedal now. I'll do my best. I'll maybe grind it off at some point and take a look inside and give you an update. But yeah, my wife opined that maybe it's because there's a tiny Chinese man inside making the pedal work. Are you okay in there? I can't see him. So I'm going to have to plug this one in using the power input. I'm going to plug that into my amp now. I'm going to run it clean, direct from my guitar through the pedal into a clean channel on the amp, my Fender Bassman, and we'll see how it sounds, if it even works at all. And we'll also get to see if these strings work. So let's check it out. Okay, so we're plugged in. Everything is working. I am using a clean tone. I'm going to click the pedal on and I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to turn the gain all the way down, so it does come through. I'm going to set the output on the pedal to unity with the pedal being off. So that's a boost. Still a boost. That's about level. So this is the pedal off. This is the pedal turned on with the gain all the way off. So you could absolutely use it as a volume boost. This is the pedal off. And the pedal on. That works, and there's a lot of volume on this. You can go to silly levels if you need it to. What I'm really interested in, of course, is the gain. So if I just... It's not bad. Here's it all the way up. And the output down. That's not a bad overdrive tone, considering I'm going into a clean amp, and I often feel that clean amps don't take overdrive pedals all that well. So maybe a little bit trebly, so I'm going to roll the treble knob down. Not bad, and treble all the way up. Okay, that's piercing. You don't really want that. It's actually quite nasty. The only problem with this as a pedal, right, is I've got no way to compare it to an original Klon Centaur. So if any of my viewers out there actually own a Klon Centaur, an original Klon Centaur, and wouldn't mind lending me it so I can A/B test this, that would be really cool. If you want to reach out and do that, obviously I'll make sure that you you get your pedal back. I know they're quite pricey. So I'll be honest, the pedal functions. The one thing I'm never going to be able to test, aside from the AB, is how long this pedal lasts. This pedal could absolutely crap out in a week. I'm just listening. So it's introducing a little bit of noise to the signal, and it does sound, to my ears, like a little bit of electronic hum rather than something like gain-related hum. But all in all, that pedal cost me £15 posted. It works, you know, I can't criticize it for that. It does do what it is supposed to do. It is an overdrive pedal. And if you need a dirt cheap overdrive pedal, that will do the trick. There's an ethical dilemma around it because it is branded up as a Klon Centaur and it's not actually a Klon Centaur. Now, it would be possible for people to be buying these and then trying to shift them on the second-hand market as the genuine article. That is where I have a huge problem with this pedal. This pedal will absolutely never leave my hands. I'm never going to try and sell this pedal. I'll obviously never try and sell it as a genuine article. If for some reason I need to get rid of this pedal, I will destroy it with a sledgehammer so it is of no use to anyone. Because there obviously is an ethical dilemma with something like this. It is, for all intents and purposes, a counterfeit article. So yeah, would I recommend buying one? I mean, it's a funny little oddity, isn't it? Even again, as a present, if you've got a guitar playing friend and you buy them one of these as a kind of, you know, I saw this in a second-hand shop and I thought of you type thing, and they open this box and there's a Klon Centaur in there, and, you know, that look on their face of, oh my God, this is an amazing present, thank you so much, and then saying, yeah, I got it from China and it's garbage. Not necessarily the worst thing. So there we have it. The Klon Centaur does the trick. The strings work, the picks work. All in all, I can't really say that any of this was a massive failure, apart from that damn ukulele. But it is what it is. So lastly, I just want to say a huge thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. They make videos like this happen. I went and spent a bit of money on Wish, and I'm allowed to do that because these guys are essentially paying for that. So thank you very much for that support, guys. It really does mean a lot. I really do appreciate that. And of course, you know, you can join me on Patreon for as little as $1. $1 is Is that racist? I don't know. $1, yeah. Um, and it's a great way to support the channel. So if you are interested in doing that, you can click this button up here. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking this button down here. You'll see 2 more of my videos here and here. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. Your love, your likes, your shares, your comments, your engagement. I do enjoy it. Much love, and I will see you for another video soon. Laters.